I'm glad you started with the first point, which is quite important for a lot of parents to know, is a fine balance between co-curricular activities and the academic excellence. So how are you trying to manage and find a balance between these two at Manav Rachna? So can you elaborate more on the importance of curriculum in these aspects? Hi, welcome to Illustrate, your very own school search engine that helps you find the best schools for your kid based on various filters and parameters. Today we have Ms. Nandini, who is the headmistress of Manav Rachna International School, which is in Faridabad, Sector 21, Gurgaon. Let's talk to her and understand her perspective of various aspects in regards to schooling and parenting. To begin with, a lot of parents keep searching for good schools for their kid, and they tend to measure a school on various yardsticks. What piece of advice do you have for them in terms of finding the good school? What are the characteristics that they have to look out in a school to be able to judge a school well? What are your thoughts on that?
If I look at it from a parent's perspective, I would say a fine balance between scholastic and post-scholastic, right? Very, very important for an overall growth of the child, that the school provides a curriculum that accelerates the growth in every aspect, not just the academic growth, but also an overall growth, which can be brought in through a variety of post-scholastic activities as well, right? So a very fine balance between scholastic and post-scholastic, I feel, is what any good school should provide, first thing. The second thing is the environment. The environment has to be very, very accommodating, and the children should feel comfortable in that environment. Let's say, for example, even as adults, if we have to sit in a place where we don't feel comfortable or safe, right? Learning is not going to happen. So the environment has to be conducive to learning. The third is individualized attention. It is very important because every individual has their own strengths and weaknesses, has their own capabilities. So their individual differences have to be taken into account, and individualized attention should be given to each student. So that's another aspect of a good school. Fourth, I would say the happiness quotient of the school. So when I say happiness quotient, I don't mean that it's only fun and play. There's no learning that's happening. But happiness quotient stems from the fact that one, children understand very clearly what's happening. Two, they are confident about their learning space, right? They know exactly what's expected of them and what is it that they can do. And three is that they know what they've achieved, right? So if we can provide these four things, I feel, when a parent goes looking for a school, if they look for these four areas and make a decision based on that I feel would be a fairly informed decision.
Got it. I'm glad you started with the first point, which is quite important for a lot of parents to know, is a fine balance between co-curricular activities and the academic excellence. So how are you trying to manage and find a balance between these two at Manav Rachna in your particular school?
So at Manav Rachna International School, Sector 21C, Faridabad, we have been able to strike a very fine balance between scholastic and post-scholastic. So we do strive for academic excellence, that goes without saying. And we prepare our students likewise, right? Besides the curriculum at school, which of course, when it's assessed and evaluated, that's done at the school level. But we go over and beyond that in terms of analyzing the academic excellence for our school, where our students participate in standardized examinations, which are conducted by external organizations. And how our students fare in those examinations is what we take as the standard for academic excellence for our school. And I share with you with a lot of pride and humility at the same time that our students have been excelling in these standardized examinations, not just at the regional, zonal, state or national level, but also at the international level. Students have been achieving rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, very high ranks, international ranks in these standardized examinations, which goes to, which bears evidence to the fact that academic excellence is something really work very hard on in MRIS 21C. Having said that, in today's day and age, it is not just academic excellence that will get you where you're supposed to be, right? So if you want to carve out a place for yourself, there is a lot more that comes as a package for personal development and growth. So that's where Co-Scholastic brings in a lot of value, and plenty of Co-Scholastic activities that we have here at school at MRIS 21C, and focusing on skill development, not just activity for the sake of activity, but focusing on skill development. So these are skill-driven, age-appropriate activities that we work on, and very, very well integrated with our scholastic curriculum. So in fact, I would like to mention here that MRIS 21C has been awarded in the past year for maintaining a fine balance between scholastic and post-scholastic. So there is no limit to the kind of activities that we have as far as post-scholastics is concerned, and very well integrated across the curriculum is how we go about with it. And it is also through these post-scholastic activities that we and the various celebrations that we have at school that we instill various values in our students. That's something, again, very deep-rooted at Manav Rachna. So at MRIS 21C, we work with children in a way where their spiritual and their soulful growth can also be taken care of. So taking care of all dimensions of the development of a child, and so therefore overall development of a child gets taken care of through these areas.
Got it. While the school have a great vision and mission in terms of balancing these two, I think its curriculum also plays a very important role to allow this to happen. And CBSE in Manav Rachna that you're following has that scope. So can you elaborate more on the importance of curriculum in these aspects?
So yes, Manav Rachna follows the CBSE board. And the good thing about the CBSE curriculum is that it is very profound in its conceptual base, right? It provides in-depth understanding of concepts, and with adaptations to the curriculum, with NEP coming in now, which brings in a lot of enriching aspect of integration, and a very, very strong base of math and science coming in along with focus on languages. So that, of course, is a very strong point of the CBSE curriculum. And the good thing about CBSE is that it is one of the curriculums that is acknowledged across the globe. So wherever across the globe you go, you do have schools that recognize CBSE as a curriculum. So that's a very important aspect of CBSE.
Got it. And before we wind it up, what parents are very keen to understand is the kind of infrastructure that Manav Rachna has to support all these activities, be it the co-curricular activities or the academic excellence that you're trying to pursue for every child. So how do you think the infrastructure that you have is aptly supporting this entire mission for the overall development of the kid? And when I say infrastructure, it could also it would also include the technical advancements, technological infrastructure that you have in your school.
At Manav Rachna International School Sector 21C, the kind of infrastructure that we have supports learning in every possible way. So, all areas of the curriculum and all post-scholastic areas are taken care of in terms of the infrastructure that we have. So if I start with, let's say, for example, sports, there's indoor sports rooms that we have the sports turf, we have a table tennis arena, so that's being taken care of. If I talk about performing art, we have areas like crescendo and moves and mudras that children can access for music and dance. We have Picasso's arena, which has been created in a manner that actually brings out the creativity in students. So that's our art and craft room. Computer lab, of course, that's where the technological learning happens. Most of it, not all of it, but most of it, because a lot of it happens in the classrooms as well. Then we have the future skills lab, That's an element that is unique to Manav Rachna. And we have the Future Skills Lab, wherein the core domain of future skills and sustainability, a much loved subject by the students, is taken care of. The Science Lab, of course. And the entire school, the way the classrooms have been set up, the infra is such that it actually engages the child in learning and wants to bring out that that excitement in students to learn. Okay, so technology is integrated into the learning routine, right, in various ways. One is that we create conceptual capsules for our students, which help in their learning process. And we follow an inquiry-based learning approach here, right? So for that, there are a lot of projects that we require our students to make. And these are technology aids them there, where as far as research-based projects are concerned, which are also part of their assignments. For these researchers also, they use technology, and integrating technology with other subjects is an integral part. So IT integrated with languages, or IT integrated with science, or even with social science for that matter. So integration here is a key aspect where, and at a time we integrate a minimum of 3 subjects.
Great. And ma'am, for a lot of parents, they would be very keen to understand what is the admission cycle like at Manav Rachna? Which time of the year should they reach out to the school to get the admission? So can you tell us more on that?
Sure. So the admissions actually have started for the session 24-25. And in fact, the first window for admissions of the first level is already done, right? So we're going to open up with the next window soon. And it will go on till the time our seats are full, because we consider first come, first serve basis. Yeah, so once a parent visits the school, that's the ideal way to go about it, because when a parent visits, that's what the interaction with the people at school is very, very important to understand the culture of the school, right? And when you go around, you take a round, you see how people are interacting with each other, how the teachers are interacting with the children, what is the classroom setup like, how are the children actually learning in the classrooms. That's when you get a true picture of a school. So the first step ideally should be to go for a school visit. And from there, once parents visit, the next step is to register, right? They register online. It's an online registration. They register online. And from there, we take the admission process forward. For the admission into early years, there is an informal observation where the teacher sits with the child and understands the readiness of the child, just to know where the child is at, so the child can be taken forward from where they're currently at, right? And of course, the final step is our principal's interaction with the parents, right? After which the admission formalities take place. Now, this is for early years. Grade 1 onwards, there is a placement test that the children have to write, based on which the rest of the process follows, which is similar to this one. So instead of the observation, there's a placement test. So yes, that's the admission procedure.
Fantastic. A lot of insights about the school and your thoughts on various aspects will be of great help for a lot of parents who are looking for good schools in your locality. Thank you so much for coming forward and giving us your time, ma'am. We'll have a lot more to chat about in our forthcoming videos, and we look forward for those sessions.